Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video, I'm finally going to be going over my Arakni Huntsman ProQuest list, talk about some of my decision points as well as some of the changes, even based off Taylor's recent Battle Hardened list, showed some really cool things. Finally helped me get over some of my bias with certain cards I like to run. So we'll go over the list, kind of go around choices, and give you a good baseline for your ProQuest season. Hopefully you enjoy it. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully you enjoy your stay. If you're a long-standing supporter, thank you so much as always. Feel free to check out the Discord down below as well as a channel membership. If you want to support the channel in a different way, don't have to at all, but it is there as an option. Also, if you want to check out other creators, I have a creator worksheet down below in the description as well. Over 100 Flesh and Blood creators, so definitely go check it out. It's categorized by what type of content. I'm always trying to add to it when I find new people, so please enjoy that. So I'll pull up the list here, and Huntsman is so interesting to me right now. This list has been public for a little bit. I've been like slowly changing it before the video. I'm deciding right now between like Huntsman and Katsu for the ProQuest season, and it's very difficult because from a fun factor standpoint, I enjoy Huntsman more. I have for a while now, even before the new cards. From a meta standpoint, I think Huntsman's better into the field, but Katsu's better into the top of the meta. Like Katsu's better into Verdance, Syndra, and Gravy, all three of them, in my opinion. But Huntsman is better into like pretty much everything else. For me, at least, is how I play the deck. And I feel more comfortable playing into like a random hero as I do with Katsu. So we'll have to see. I only have one ProQuest this season. I had two, but I have to cancel my first one because of a family obligation, which is completely fine. So I think the 18th is like my only ProQuest. So I'll end up making a decision before then. But right now I'm like slowly leaning Huntsman. I know I said Katsu in my Katsu video, but it's very difficult. Regardless, at any rate, this is the list. It's been public for a little bit, and I've been like slowly making changes. So if you've been playing it and enjoying it, hopefully you have. We have a lot of new Huntsman players, so a lot of people are trying to figure this out, especially post Battle Hardened. So I'll kind of go over. The first thing I want to go over is like the big like changes to like a normal Huntsman list, or if anyone's watched my videos, what you see normally. I finally incorporated the stealth cards back in. We have Persuasive Prognosis is still in there, but we have Bonds of Attraction and Double Trouble now with Justinic package. I had the Justinic package when we had Bonds of Agony, and then I got rid of it. When Bonds of Agony was banned, I was like actually super happy because I like playing Huntsman for the contract mechanic. That's like why I play the hero. I love looking at the top of people's deck. I love that mechanic. I love that feeling, and it's what draws me to it. It's what draws me to this hero thematically. So to not play that is a little bit hard for me, and I will oftentimes make choices and cards in order to play into that mechanic more. And I still may at the end of the day, but seeing the success that Taylor had with Double Trouble, as well as other talented Huntsman players like Edison and them in the Discord running it, I decided to just give it a good fair shot. And I do like blue Double Trouble a lot. For anyone that's not aware, Double Trouble, if you've activated 2 or more attack reactions, this chain link, it gets +2 when it hits a hero, banish top 2 cards of their deck. So like on a red Double Trouble, let's say you blocked with Mask of Perdition and Black Tech Whispers on the previous turn, you play red Double Trouble, your opponent has to block with 2 cards or block 5 of some sort, and that's not counting if you have like a Shred or anything like that. Because if they don't, it's going to hit for 5 off of reacting, because both these count as attack reactions. It's going to get +2 on hit, banish top 2 cards of the deck. So they're going to get dealt 5 damage, and you banish 2 cards anyway. So this card, unless they just truly don't care and they're trying to smack you in the face, this card just demands 2 cards regardless if you're in any type of mid-range matchup or like slower matchup. So it is really good for that. The blue Double Trouble, when paired with Nick, is really nice. You also can play cards like Coercive Tendency on it, because Coercive Tendency doesn't care about contracts, just an attack reaction. Because this card used to matter for like going super wide, and you still can, but really now it's just a good reaction for Double Trouble, a good way to snipe power cards, all that other stuff. So we have the Double Trouble package in here with Justin Nick, and we also add Bonds of Attraction just to give us a little bit more Nick targets. Attraction is actually really nice also to try to at least attempt to snipe a Syndra dagger, depending on how it works out. They could just pay to bring it back, but if they've already blocked a little bit from hand, maybe they can't. So we have that in here. We also obviously have Hunter or Hunted. This card is opened up so much for the deck. you know, it has so many applicabilities, right? From just a normal standpoint, being able to, like, sometimes you just high roll. Like, sometimes you'll get this on turn 2 against, like, I don't know. I just had it today against the Pleiades, and on turn 2, I played this and found Terrace Under, and I sniped 3 other Terrace Unders. That changes the matchup so much because that matchup's going to go to, like, the last 10 cards in deck if someone doesn't high roll. So them not having access to their, like, one of their finishing cards is really big. I've had games against a Victor where I sniped their Golden Suns immediately and stuff like that. So it's just really, really good for that. Really good to help with the fatigue strat, because I would say this card can banish up to 4 cards. So on a perfect game, if they have, you know, multiple color copies of every card you find, you could banish up to 12 cards with this deck, with this card. So you start at around a 9 card advantage, which in this deck is insane. I would say on average you banish 7 to 8 cards with this card. On a bad game you'll banish like 4 or 5. On a good game you'll banish like, you know, 7 or 8. So you're already starting at a +4, +5 card advantage in this deck, which is very, very good. So we do have that in there, obviously. Other than that, a lot of it's pretty much the same. We're running Annihilate the Arm, Command and Conquer, Cut to the Chase, Leave No Witness, Plunder the Poor. Those are like super stock and standard. We are running Graven Call on the main board. I always put this card in. It's never not my dagger, even in AB3 matchups. Being able to have this in a really grindy 15 to 20 turn cycle game, like if you can swing with it consistently, you're averaging anywhere from, you know, 10 to 20 extra damage during the game, which is very, very impactful. When it comes to down here in the yellow slot, we did have to make room for red Double Trouble, so we did end up getting rid of 2 Eradicates, which really hurt my soul. This is my favorite contract card by far. From a thematic standpoint, being able to banish a bunch of cards, I can tell you right now there's no better high than you arsenal this card after like threatening a lot with your opponent. Maybe they don't throw a lot back at you and you decide you have a little bit more tempo to swing at them with, and you draw into like a blue, a shred, and even like a single Cut to the Chase. I won't even Christmas land it. And then you attack for 7 with a shred, and you end up banishing like 4 to 7 cards from their deck. It just feels really, really cool, but it's not always that consistent. And the 1 cost yellow can make it a little bit awkward. So regrettably, we did have to cut it to 2. Sigil is very good in this deck, especially with Hunter or Hunted as being an addition and being held to play for that fatigue game plan. 9 life is a lot in a lot of mid-range matchups. It really, really helps. It also is a great card to arsenal to, like, you know, play around Command and Conquers. It's a great card to hold in your hand because they might think it's a reaction, so you're forcing blocks, so you arsenal it anyway. It just has a lot of applicability. We are still running Shred. I think this card's just... Yellow Shred almost should never be taken out of the list, in my opinion. It's just always good. Unless the only time I could see us taking this card out is if we're in some like insane aggro meta where it's just like, you know, no one's blocking. Regardless, you try not to arsenal this card because it can get clogged up in your arsenal. The only cards I don't want to see off of Codex or Frailty Ponder is Yellow Shred and Regicide. Shred I'll still arsenal because I want to have a 5-card hand, but Regicide, like, you just have to IP yourself. And Last Ditch Effort, I guess, for me is also one, depending on what state of the game it's in. The blue base is pretty standard. We are running 9 stealths in order to facilitate Justinic. The other thing about the blue base is you can go one of 2 ways with Huntsman now. You can go like completely, I would say utility is the best way to put it. Like you have Course of Tendency, Hunter or Hunted, Conceal Blade, even like Warmongers, or even oh my goodness, Ripple Away, stuff like that. Or you can go more of like the mid, like half and half package with like threats and utility. Or you can go like full threats where you run like the stealth package with Nick, but you also run like Blue Plunder the Poor, stuff like that. Whereas the only like thing is like, no matter what you do, there's always going to be, in my opinion, 3 consistent blues that never leave the deck, which is Coercive Tendency, Hunter or Hunted, and Surgical. So 9 of your blues are always taken up regardless. I'm also running Last Ditch Effort. I like this card a lot. It just gives you an out in the late game when you pitch stack your Surgicals and Last Ditch Effort. And so like your last 8 cards in the deck allow you to really threaten your opponent when you're both at super low life totals and probably super same or close to the same in cards in deck. It just really forces a lot out of your opponent. So that's really good. And then we're running the one of Regicide. I need to get this card in Blackout Edition. I have the like foil, I guess not Blackout, but like the darker version. I don't have the Blackout yet. I need to get the Blackout. I'm never not going to run this card in Huntsman. It's just it's a culture pick. You got to run it. And I have killed like 2 or 3 Syndras with it, so it's really, really funny. And then we have the sideboard. I do have a sideboard guide in here. As I tell everybody with every deck tech I ever do, tailor the sideboard to what your local meta is, especially with ProQuest. Even if you don't watch my video, if you watch Taylor's video, even if you watch somebody else that's really good at Huntsman, think about what you need to tech for and make those decisions accordingly. I try to make my sideboard somewhat general for you, but it's also big for my meta. My meta has a lot of gravy. It has a lot of Syndra, and it has a couple. And it did have a couple pesky prisms, but they're gone now, I think. Thank God. And we also have a couple Guardian players. So I have to really tech for that. We have one really good Verdance player. So like all my thought processes are for that specifically. We also have a very good Cilio player too, which is where Balance of Justice is. So like I know like for the most part who's going to be coming to my local meta, but we do have like some aggressive pieces and defensive pieces is the best way to generalize it as a whole. We're bringing for more mid-range matchups like Brute, or any matchup where we need to be a little bit more defensive. We'll bring in like our defense reactions. Matchups where we need to be the aggressor and we need to be able to go a little bit wider, like Gravy. We'll bring in like the E strikes and the pain in the backside, the pick up of the points, all that stuff. But matchups where we need to be able to block and be a little bit more flexible, like Kasai, we'll bring in like shelters, sinks, frailty traps, things like that. So definitely check out that. My biggest thing has been like having a both aggressive package and a defensive package in here, to be able to be as flexible as I can. Same thing with my daggers. I still do like Nerve Scalpel. I think it's very worth it in certain matchups. I know I'm going to have a Kasai at our freaking event, and we're also going to have some really defensive Guardians, so I need to be able to, play around that. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. But this is the list. Super simple. I'm not going to go over like super insane in-depth stuff because, anyone who's watched my channel for a while knows like a lot of these cards. If you have a question on a specific card, please let me know. I know we have a lot of new Huntsman players in here. When it comes to like what card do you top, what card do you bottom, it's all very situational. Like cards in deck, how many cards have they played, what's the life totals, all that stuff. So it's hard to like go over that directly, but definitely let me know if there's something on here that doesn't make sense or something that you wanted to add or take away, or just a general question that you have. Hopefully this will give you a good baseline. Definitely, as you can see up here, go check out the Attack Action podcast, and check out Taylor's deck. He does have a little bit of differences from me. I don't think he's running Yellow Shred. His sideboard's a little bit different than mine. So it's good to get like multiple aspects. Taylor's a highly talented player, especially a highly talented Huntsman player. So definitely go check out his stuff. But hopefully you enjoyed this. I tried to keep it sweet and simple when it comes to the ProQuest list. I'm sorry I haven't been able to like go super in depth the last few days. I had a 12-hour night shift, and then I got off work. This was on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday at this point. All the days run together. It was Wednesday morning. I got off Wednesday morning at like 8:30, and then normally I go back into work at 10:30, but I got called out at 7 to help. So then I had a 15-hour shift last night, and I slept all day, and then I did this video. So we are very much running on passion right now. But I'm going to keep trying to make videos. I have a couple Grand Archive videos coming out. I've also started getting back into Sorcery a lot, so I kind of want to talk about that at some point. I think that's a really fun game to talk about. But yeah, definitely let me know what you think of the list. I enjoy all y'all's support. Thank you so much. Y'all are awesome. The channel's doing really well, and I'm really enjoying it. Just spending time with y'all. But yeah, thank y'all so much. Y'all have a good rest of your day. If you like this type of content, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. But if not me, it's completely fine. Go to another creator, leave a like, comment, subscribe on their stuff. Let's get more people seeing this game. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk. Thank y'all so much.